Hi, it's Paul again, and welcome to the Power of People initiative. Now, one of the least discussed, often overlooked, but hugely important aspects of mental health is how friends and family talk and interact with the sufferer. It's all well and good saying, "Are you okay?" But due to the very nature of depression, with its roots in kindness, we so often say we're good, even when we're not, because we feel awful about burdening others with our problems. And if you haven't lived through the suffering firsthand, it's so very hard to empathise. So how do loved ones connect and support without making matters worse? So often saying the wrong thing, albeit with the best intentions, can lead to arguments, upset and bad feeling. And everyone ends up walking on eggshells, which is no way to live. Here are my own suggestions. Firstly, never ask specifics about how someone is feeling. They live with it on their minds 24/7. So the very last thing they want to do is to discuss it any further. Try asking, how are you holding up? Be positive and let them know that you value their contribution into your own life. Let them know you love them and always say, we'll get through this together. Always use we, not you. And bear this in mind at all times. Just because someone doesn't want to hear doesn't mean they're not listening. Often sufferers can be abrupt and prickly when spoken to. They're wound so tight that they lash out without meaning to, but what you say in kindness is getting through. So don't get defensive. Just be there to reassure that you're by their side through thick and thin. It may not appear so at the time, but this is a huge relief for those in crisis and has quite an impact. Be physically close and tactile. And don't be deterred if this isn't reciprocated. The person is wound so tight that they cannot relax, but affection gradually gets through. It may get rejected altogether. Don't get upset by this. It's usually simply a reaction of trying to protect you from their pain. So it comes from a place of love. Don't give up and just be there with them. Always positive about what they have to offer the world and reminisce about wonderful things that person has done with you. And if they ever mention anything about self-harm, please, 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 never say anything like, but what about your husband, your wife, your parents, your kids, etc. This kind of negative motivation will simply convince that person to never discuss the subject with you again. They would have thought about the consequences of their actions in great detail. But it gets to the point where your pain overwhelms any other responsibilities, and that's the point where dreadful things can happen. Instead, I suggest something like the following. If they tell you that they can't go on, imagine they just told you that they were diagnosed with cancer 3 months ago, but didn't tell you because they don't want to worry you. Get lovingly cranky with them. Why didn't you tell me earlier, you silly sausage? I know you're struggling, but I had no idea it had got that bad. You're too bloody good at hiding things. Okay, how do we get through this? Because I'm not losing you, okay? You're too important to me, and God knows the world needs your kindness right now. Usually they will open up and tell you everything. When this happens, you need to get them to see themselves as you do, a beautiful being. They need to see themselves as a valued member of our community. And this is usually best done by getting them to help others in need. Encourage them to use their kindness and start to feel good about life again. And finally, above all else, always use we, not you. Bless you for caring. I know it sometimes feels like a thankless task, but believe me, it gets through, and that's vitally important.